All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Sunil Verma and with me is Sarabjit Kaur. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to dedicate to the nation second-generation ethanol plant at Panipat in Haryana today. Jdu leader Nitish Kumar to be sworn in as Chief Minister of Bihar this afternoon. Polling is underway for 186 village panchayats in Goa. Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal says developed countries are very keen now to sign trade deals with India. 4-day monsoon session of Himachal Pradesh Assembly begins today. 3 LAT terrorists trapped in an encounter with security forces in Budgam district of Jammu and Kashmir. US President Joe Biden signs documents endorsing Finland and Sweden's accession to NATO. And Serena announces her retirement from professional tennis. As our nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events is being organized by the government as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. To commemorate the occasion as a Janotsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. Recalling our yesterday's question, name the freedom fighter who started the Swarajya newspaper and also played a significant role in the library movement in Andhra Pradesh. The correct answer is Gadi Charala Hari Sarvottam Rao. AIR News got an overwhelming response from its listeners from across the world, and the one lucky winner of the quiz is VR Dhanalakshmi from West Mambalam, Chennai.
I am VR Dhanalakshmi from Chennai. Thanks to AIR for selecting me as the winner of the prestigious Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav quiz. I have been listening to AIR English News since my school days as advised by my father. The great Tamil poet Bharadiyar said, Petra Thayum Piranda Ponnadum Natchava Vaninum Nani Sirandanave. We should keep our mother and motherland in very high esteem. This quiz program has given good opportunity for the youngsters to know more about our native land. AIR may continue such programs in the years to come also. Thanks to AIR once again. Jai Hind.
The next question, which will be the last one in our Amrit Mahotsav quiz, will be shared with the listeners on Monday, 15th of August. Celebrate 75 years of India's independence by participating in Amrit Mahotsav quiz with AIR News. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will dedicate to the nation the second-generation 2G ethanol plant at Panipat in Haryana through video conferencing today. It is part of a long series of steps taken by the government over the years to boost production and usage of biofuels in the country. It is in line with the Prime Minister's constant endeavour to transform the energy sector into being more affordable, accessible, efficient and sustainable. The 2G ethanol plant has been built at an estimated cost of over 900 crore rupees by the Indian Oil Corporation Limited. The project will turn a new chapter in India's waste-to-wealth endeavours by utilising about 2 lakh tons of rice straw parali annually to generate around 3 crore litres of ethanol per annum. The project will also contribute to a reduction of greenhouse gases equivalent to about 3 lakh tons of carbon dioxide emissions per annum. Jdu leader Nitish Kumar will be sworn in as Chief Minister and RJD leader Tejashwi Yadav as Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar today. The swearing-in ceremony will be held at Raj Bhavan in Patna in the afternoon. We have more from our Patna correspondent.
Nitish Kumar met Governor Phagu Chauhan yesterday and staked the claim to form a new government in the state. Mr. Kumar also submitted a list of 164 MLAs belonging to 7 parties supporting him. These include RJD, Congress, Hindustani Awam Morcha, left parties and 1 independent MLA. Mr. Kumar was unanimously elected as leader of Grand Alliance comprising JDU, RJD and Congress at joint meeting of these parties. The meeting took place after JDU snapped ties with BJP-led NDA. Earlier, RJD, Congress and left parties submitted letter of their support to Nitish Kumar to form a new government. The decision to leave the NDA was taken at JDU's Glitter Party meeting chaired by Nitish Kumar yesterday. Jitan Ram Manjhi-led Hindustani Awam Morcha, Hum, has also extended its support to Nitish Kumar unconditionally. Krishna Kumar Lal, AIR News, Patna.
Senior BJP leader and former Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad lashed out at Janata Dal United leader Nitish Kumar for breaking ties with the National Democratic Alliance NDA and joining hands with the Rashtriya Janata Dal RJD to form a new government in Bihar. Talking to reporters in Patna, Mr. Prasad said Nitish Kumar left the NDA accusing the BJP of trying to destroy his party. He said BJP made him a union minister several times.
43 सीट मिली, भाजपा की सीट आपके दुगने के बराबर, फिर भी इसके बदले कोई चर्चा नहीं हुई। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने दिल्ली के भाजपा कार्यालय में इस जीत के विजय उल्लास के कार्यक्रम में घोषणा कर दिया कि बिहार के मुख्यमंत्री नीतीश कुमार जी होंगे और बड़ी पार्टी भाजपा के एक एक कार्यकर्ता, एक एक विधायक ने इसको बहुत ही सहजता से स्वीकार कर लिया। ये सच्चाई है कि नहीं नीतीश कुमार जी, बताइए तो आप मुझे। तो आप कैसे कहते हैं कि भाजपा ने आपको कमजोर करने की कोशिश की? आपको कमजोर तो प्रदेश की जनता ने किया था, फिर भी प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने आप मुख्यमंत्री बनाया। फिर अब आज आप कह रहे हैं कि भाजपा अटल जी और अडवाणी जी वाली भाजपा नहीं है, तो 20 में जीत के आप साथ क्यों थे? आप उसी वक्त कहते कि हमको इस बीजेपी से नहीं पटेगी। तो ये तो कमाल की बात है। 17 में आप दोबारा साथ आ गए, आराम से साथ रहे, 19 का लोकसभा का चुनाव जीता, 20 का विधानसभा का चुनाव जीता और आज जब 22 का अगस्त चल रहा है तो आप कह रहे हैं भाजपा हमको तोड़ने की कोशिश करती है। ये क्या मतलब है इसका? हमारा स्पष्ट कहना है नीतीश जी, आप बिहार की जनता के जनादेश का अपमान कर रहे हैं।
Ravi Shankar Prasad also recalled how Nitish Kumar joined hands with the BJP when the latter was probing the fodder scam against RJD patriarch Lalu Yadav. Polling is underway for 186 panchayat bodies in Goa. The polling, which began at 8 a.m., will conclude at 5 p.m. More than 5,000 candidates are in the fray for 1,464 wards across the state. A total of 64 candidates have been elected unopposed from different village panchayats, of which 41 were from North Goa and 23 from South Goa. North Goa district has 97 panchayats while South Goa has 89 panchayats. The administration has imposed Section 144 across the state. Liquor ban has also been imposed for today. Counting of votes will be taken up on Friday.
The 4-day monsoon session of Himachal Pradesh Legislative Assembly will begin today. The monsoon session will be held amid COVID-19 restrictions and monkeypox safety guidelines. The session is slated to conclude on Saturday. Assembly Speaker Vipin Singh Parmar said that the session will have 4 sittings. The session will continue on Saturday as well. The Speaker said proper thermal scanning of all those entering the Assembly will be carried out on entry points and the entire Assembly complex will be sanitized to ensure safety from any kind of infection. It will be mandatory for everyone to follow social distancing norms in the Assembly premises and wearing face masks will be mandatory. As many as 367 questions have been received, including 228 starred questions and 139 unstarred questions. An all-party meeting was also called yesterday for the smooth functioning of the House, and cooperation was sought from the members to raise issues of importance in the public interest. Members were appealed to uphold the conventions and high standards of the Assembly. Talking to AIR News, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Suresh Bhardwaj said that this will be the last session before the Assembly election in the state.
मानसून सत्र आखिरी सत्र है इस विधानसभा का और ये 4 दिन का सत्र होगा। 10 तारीख से शुरू होकर के 13 तारीख तक चलेगा। इसमें सरकार की ओर से लगभग 10 बिल विभिन्न विभागों के द्वारा लाए जा रहे हैं और इसके अलावा अपोजिशन के द्वारा भी और बाकी माननीय सदस्यों के द्वारा लोक महत्व के बहुत सारे विषयों को उठाया गया है, जिसमें एक नियम 130 के अंतर्गत चर्चाएं होती हैं और इसके अलावा क्वेश्चन आवर में क्वेश्चन भी हैं और साथ ही साथ प्राइवेट मेंबर डे है, उसमें विधायकों के बिल आएंगे। ये आखिरी सत्र है और इस विधानसभा के बहुत महत्वपूर्ण विषय हैं, उन विषयों पर चर्चा होने की संभावना है।
Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal has said that the world now sees India as an engine of economic growth. Addressing a gathering at the Vyapari Udyami Sammelan in New Delhi, Mr. Goyal said the developed countries are very keen to sign trade deals with India now. He said before 2014, Indian economy was considered to be fragile and investors had their doubts about doing business with India. Stressing upon the need for transparency and ease of doing business, the minister assured traders and entrepreneurs that the government will fully support traders who raise their voice against harassment by any authority. Mr. Goyal called upon traders to work with the government to reduce compliance burden of people and businesses, but asked that they strictly follow ethical trade practices. He said unnecessary, cumbersome and counterproductive laws and regulations must be uprooted to improve ease of doing business. Mr. Goyal asked traders to give priority to the quality of goods and services that India offered.
Minister of Home and Cooperation, Mr. Amit Shah, has virtually launched the onboarding of cooperatives on the Government e-Marketplace or GEM portal in New Delhi. 589 cooperatives have been shortlisted as eligible for onboarding. Speaking on the occasion yesterday, Mr. Shah termed it as a landmark day for the cooperative society. He said there can be no better medium than GEM to bring transparency in government procurement. Mr. Shah said 29 crore people are associated with the cooperatives. He appealed to all the cooperative societies to join GEM with their products.
हमें भी बाजार बढ़ाना है और सरकार की कई सारी इकाइयां GEM के माध्यम से ही अब खरीदी करती हैं। चाहे राज्य सरकार हो, चाहे केंद्र सरकार हो, चाहे अंडरटेकिंग्स हो, GEM के माध्यम से खरीद करती हैं। मैं कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटीज को ये भी अपील करना चाहता हूं कि अपने आप को GEM पर रजिस्टर करने के लिए तैयार करें और GEM को हम अपनाएं।
On the occasion, Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal said a total of 2,80,000 crore rupees worth of business has been conducted on the GEM portal in the last 6 years. He said GEM is playing an important role in bringing transparency in government procurement.
GEM एक प्रकार से उसकी परिकल्पना इसलिए की गई थी कि सरकारी जो खरीद है उसको कैसे पारदर्शी भी बनाया जाए, कैसे उसको सस्ता बनाया जाए, कैसे उसकी गुणवत्ता सुधारी जाए और कैसे उसको व्यापक किया जाए।
Ministry of Education held a meeting with senior officials and representatives of all ministries and departments of Government of India to take forward the process of widespread consultation for the development of the new National Curriculum Framework NCF based on the National Education Policy 2020. The meeting was chaired by Secretary Department of School Education and Literacy in Ministry of Education, Anita Karwal. The focus of the meeting was how ministries and organizations can contribute in developing a curriculum framework. It was decided that all ministries will soon send written inputs for the National Steering Committee and NCERT to take cognizance of. The ministries were also requested to wholeheartedly participate in and disseminate the web app-based citizen survey being undertaken by NCERT.
In Rajasthan, the first limestone goods train was sent from Parbatsar near Makrana station to Lakheri in Bundi district. Divisional Railway Manager Jodhpur Geetika Pandey said the demand of limestone is high in the Lakheri cement factory. The Jodhpur division has earned a revenue of 2.5 lakh rupees from the goods train. Regular loading of at least 4 rakes is expected every month from Parbatsar site. A new site has been started for loading of limestone from Parbatsar in Nagaur.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to dedicate to the nation's second-generation ethanol plant at Panipat in Haryana today. JDU leader Nitish Kumar to be sworn in as Chief Minister of Bihar this afternoon. Polling is underway for 186 village panchayats in Goa. Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal says developed countries are very keen now to sign trade deals with India. 4-day monsoon session of Himachal Pradesh Assembly begins today. 3 LET terrorists trapped in an encounter with security forces in Budgam district of Jammu and Kashmir. US President Joe Biden signs documents endorsing Finland and Sweden's accession to NATO. And Serena Williams announces her retirement from professional tennis. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
अगर आप कर रहे हैं कॉम्पिटिशन्स की तैयारी तो फिर आपके लिए है ऑल इंडिया रेडियो का कार्यक्रम अभ्यास। आपके भेजे प्रश्न हम व्हाट्सएप नंबर 9289094044 पर या abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर रिसीव करते हैं और उसके उत्तर हमारे एक्सपर्ट सैटरडे रात 9:30 बजे देते हैं। इस बार का विषय है साइकोलॉजी और आपके सवाल का हम करेंगे इंतजार 10 अगस्त तक। आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास।
अपने बिजनेस को बढ़ाने के लिए लीजिए आकाशवाणी का सहयोग और दीजिए उसे बुलंदियों के पंख।
आपका बिजनेस लोकल है या राष्ट्रीय, आकाशवाणी देती है उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का हर विकल्प।
और अब तो आप घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे कर सकते हैं आकाशवाणी के किसी भी केंद्र के लिए विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग।
आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न चैनलों पर विज्ञापन देना सुलभ और सस्ता।
बुकिंग है तो संपर्क करें 8700014242 पर
8700014242।
In Jammu and Kashmir, an encounter broke out between security forces and terrorists in Waterhill area of Budgam district early this morning. Additional Director General of Police Kashmir Vijay Kumar said 3 terrorists belonging to Lashkar-e-Toiba, including Latif Rathar, are trapped in the ongoing encounter. The gun battle broke out after security forces along with Jammu and Kashmir police launched a joint operation against terrorists hiding in the area. Security forces cordoned off the area after receiving intelligence inputs about the presence of terrorists. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed anguish on the loss of lives due to a tragic accident in Birbhum district of West Bengal. Mr. Modi said his prayers are with the injured. He said 2 lakh rupees from Prime Minister's National Relief Fund will be given to the next of kin of each deceased, and the injured will be given 50,000 rupees. At least 9 people, including 8 women, were killed after a state transport bus collided head-on with an auto rickshaw in West Bengal's Birbhum district yesterday afternoon. President Draupadi Murmu has expressed distress at the road accident at Birbhum in West Bengal, which claimed several lives. In a tweet, Ms. Murmu gave her condolences to the bereaved families and prayed for the speedy recovery of the injured.
And now let's listen to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News, Birth of a Nation.
India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
In today's episode, we remember former President of India, Varahagiri Venkatagiri, who was born on the 10th of August, 1894. He worked in the interests of the working class against the imperialist British government. He was also the only trade union leader to have become the President of India.
I feel proud and honoured by the citizens of Delhi to be present here on this great and memorable occasion, the eve of our Independence Day. This is not the time, if I may say so, for making speeches, but it's the time for action. In the first instance, we should remember the great martyrs, our great leaders, our father of the nation, our ex-prime ministers, who have sacrificed their all for securing independence.
After early education at Behrampur and Madras, Giri went to Ireland in 1913 to join the King's Inn at Dublin. In Ireland, he came in close contact with leaders of the Irish resistance movement like Eamon de Valera, the long-serving Prime Minister of the mid-1900s. He met Mahatma Gandhi in 1914 when Gandhiji visited London, and Giri went to meet him as a young student.
On return, Giri enrolled himself in the Madras High Court, but left a lucrative practice and joined the freedom movement around 1920-21. He was first arrested in 1922 in connection with the picketing against auction of liquor shops.
Giri was the founder member of the All India Railway Men's Federation and attended the second Roundtable Conference in London in 1931. He led the Bengal-Nagpur Railway strike in 1927 and ultimately forced the British management and the government to negotiate with the workers in a landmark movement. Giri made history with his victory over the Raja of Bobili in 1937 in elections to the Madras Legislative Assembly.
After his victory, Giri joined the provincial government as Labour Minister under Rajaji. He was once again Labour Minister of Madras under T. Prakasham in 1947, but resigned that post to go as India's High Commissioner to Ceylon. Giri also served as Governor of UP, Kerala and Karnataka.
Giri became Vice President in 1967, and after the untimely death of President Zakir Hussain in 1969, he became the acting president. Giri served as President of India from 1969 to 1974. During this period, several sweeping changes took place at home and abroad.
Banks were nationalized. Privy purses to erstwhile princes of British India were withdrawn. East Pakistan became Bangladesh after more than 10 million refugees flooded India. V.V. Giri was awarded Bharat Ratna in 1975 for his public service. AIR News salutes the great nationalist.
We also remember freedom fighter Vinod Kinariwala, who died on the 10th of August 1942. Born on the 20th of September 1924 in district Ahmedabad, Gujarat, Kinariwala actively joined the Quit India movement that was launched on the 8th of August 1942.
When the students of Vinod Kinariwala's college in Ahmedabad gathered in its compound to raise anti-British slogans and give the Quit India call on the 10th of August 1942, the Assistant Superintendent of Police reached the place along with his police force and ordered firing on the students. Vinod Kinariwala was killed in the firing on the spot. AIR News salutes the brave martyr.
We pay tribute to martyr Kunar Singh, a resident of Jhansi, Uttar Pradesh, who led the forces in fighting against the British during the First War of Independence. He also provided financial support to the independence activists.
Kunar Singh was arrested by the British Army and put on trial on the charges of plundering, murder and instigating rebellion against the British. He was sentenced to be hanged by the neck till death on the 10th of August 1858. AIR News salutes the brave son of the soil.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
अब हर घर की छत पर शान से फहरेगा तिरंगा, गुनगुनाए जाएंगे नव विकास के गीत, आन बान शान का प्रतीक राष्ट्रध्वज तिरंगा। आइए आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के पावन अवसर पर इस स्वाधीनता दिवस हर घर फहराते हैं तिरंगा और लेते हैं भव्य और सशक्त भारत के निर्माण का संकल्प।
आइए हर घर फहराएं तिरंगा।
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has said Prime Minister Narendra Modi has reshaped the country's foreign policy that has national interest at its core, but in a manner that has harmonized with global good. Participating as the chief guest at a discussion on a book titled Modi at 20, Dreams Meet Delivery at the English and Foreign Languages University EFLU campus in Hyderabad, Dr. Jaishankar said, the foreign policy is the world outlook of a new India. Stating that Mr. Modi looms large on the world stage, the minister said his policies and initiatives have had their impact. The minister stated that the Prime Minister's language, metaphors, appearance, mannerisms and habit, they define a persona that the world has come to recognize. Elaborating on the country's foreign policy, Dr. Jaishankar stated that a large element of this is also the manner in which the Prime Minister carries himself.
US President Joe Biden has signed documents endorsing Finland and Sweden's accession to NATO alliance. Celebrating the US decision to ratify both the countries, President Biden said their alliance is closer than ever, it is more united than ever, and after Finland and Sweden join, they will be stronger than ever. Sweden and Finland applied for NATO membership in response to Russia's military action in Ukraine. Moscow has repeatedly warned both countries against joining the alliance. Last week, the Senate voted 95-1 to ratify the entrance of Finland and Sweden into the world's most powerful military alliance. Both Finland and Sweden already meet many of the requirements to be NATO members. U.S. State Department has announced the imposition of restrictions on 100 Belarusian officials. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said the State Department has sanctioned 2 high-ranking Belarusian officials for involvement in gross violations of human rights, namely the arbitrary detention of peaceful protesters. He further said it will move to impose visa restrictions on 100 regime officials and their affiliates for their involvement in undermining or injuring democratic institutions or impeding the transition to democracy. The measures were announced on the second anniversary of the disputed election in Belarus, in which long-time strongman leader Alexander Lukashenko claimed victory. It sparked massive protests throughout the country.
American legend Serena Williams, winner of 23 Grand Slam titles, has announced her retirement from professional tennis. While announcing her retirement in an article for Vogue magazine, the 40-year-old tennis star described her intention to finish her playing career as an evolution away from tennis. She explained that one of her biggest reasons for retirement is her intention to further expand her family. And now an overview of today's newspapers. The end of alliance between Jdu and Bjp in Bihar has been widely reported in the dailies. The Indian Express headline reads, The Patna Power Shift. 7 die of COVID in Delhi, positivity rate crosses 15%, headlines The Pioneer. The Asian Age carries photographs of Indian flag bearers Achint Sharat Kamal and Nikhat Zareen on its front page with the headlines, India's Commonwealth Games journey ends with dazzling closing ceremony. To prevent any escalation of the situation at the LAC, India and China are to set up hotlines between air forces, writes the statesman. Aircraft operators must now provide information on flyers leaving and entering India at least 24 hours in advance to Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs for risk analysis of passengers, reports the Times of India. And finally, a new book on the savage brawl in Galwan Valley between Indian and Chinese soldiers 2 years ago reveals that the Braveheart Indian Army medic Nayak Deepak Singh was killed while treating Chinese soldiers, reports the Hindustan Times.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to dedicate to the nation second-generation ethanol plant at Panipat in Haryana today. Jdu leader Nitish Kumar to be sworn in as Chief Minister of Bihar this afternoon. Polling is underway for 186 village panchayats in Goa. Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal says developed countries are very keen now to sign trade deals with India. 4-day monsoon session of Himachal Pradesh Assembly begins today. 3 LET terrorists trapped in an encounter with security forces in Badgan district of Jammu and Kashmir. US President Joe Biden signs documents endorsing Finland and Sweden's accession to NATO, and Serena Williams announces her retirement from professional tennis. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.